Welcome to another episode of the official Preston North End podcast. This is PNE Pod. My name's Niall McCorn.
And I'm Neil Mellor. We'll be talking to some PNE legends, some first team players, some famous fans, and some former teammates of mine.
And it is a first team player who we're chatting to today because we've got PNE defender Greg Cunningham on the show.
And he wasn't always a defender. He tells us, and he's very honest, what position he actually was when he came over to England.
And he's played under some amazing managers, Sven-Göran Eriksson, Roberto Mancini. Just to let you know that there is a little bit of squeamish content in this podcast. Greg talks about one of the serious injuries that he's got, so just a little warning. And don't forget to hit subscribe as well or follow wherever you listen to podcasts, and that way you'll never miss an episode of PNE Pod again. But without further ado, let's hear from PNE first team player Greg Cunningham. You've played for a number of clubs, but by far the most games you've played for is for North End over a couple of spells. Does North End feel like your club?
Yeah. I've always said that. I think they say like when you leave, you don't come back. But when the opportunity arose, like I was never turning it down. I love it at this club, and I'm quite open about it, and I'm very grateful for the other clubs I've played for. And when I was there, like I always do, I've give everything. But I think it's no secret that I play my best football here, and I give everything for this club, and it's home for me.
Even though you played some Premier League games with Cardiff, it still feels like that?
It's mad because Cardiff was probably the worst time of my career, and it should have been the best. So although I ticked the box and lived the dream and got some Prem games, psychologically, mentally, emotionally, the worst time of my career.
Why?
I go there and it's an opportunity I can't turn down.
Who was the manager that took you there?
Neil Warnock.
Warnock.
So you're having conversations that then ultimately don't happen when you go there. And yeah, it wasn't.
So you've only left Preston to go to a Premier League club. You wouldn't have left otherwise.
No. And sort of going into my last year, I wanted to stay. I was enjoying the project that was under Alex Neil. It was the season where we missed out by 2 points, I think, in the end. That I really felt that this is the season we're going to go up. We're going to get into the playoffs and we're going to go up, and it didn't happen. And
why did you miss out that season? 2 points.
You don't look at one game because it balanced itself out over the course of the season. But I look at Derby at home on Easter Monday, I think it was, and we lost. And then you miss out by. Did you
feel in the dressing room afterwards that was maybe?
It was a moment. You're clawing then a little bit, and it's Tom Lawrence free kick, and I think we missed a penalty that game, and we had dominated Derby, and then you lose 1-0, and then you're kind of trying to claw it back for the remaining kind of 6 weeks or whatever it was, and we just didn't quite get there. And I'd look back and say, that was probably the time that because I think if we get into the playoffs there, under the guidance that we had and with the squad we had, we are going to the Prem easy. Because no one wants to come to Deepdale. And with the way we were organised and set up and the way everyone was, there was no doubt in my mind, I was just get in there. Because when we get in there, we are, whatever way it goes, we're winning at Deepdale, we're getting the result we need, and then it's a one-off at Wembley. And I think, as Alex Neil's showing, like there's only one winner then.
If that was maybe a regret that you didn't get into the playoffs, what are some of the more positive moments and memories that you've had over the hundreds of games that you've played for North End now?
Probably getting the hundreds of games for North End. I'll look back over my career, and I'm still only 33, and I keep reiterating that I've got a lot of years left in me, but it sounds kind of not corny, but I've lived the dream that I had as a kid, and that many kids have and never get to do. And for all of the roller coaster of emotions it's all part of the pressures and the love of football. Like it's never straightforward. And you look back and think for the tough times that it makes you into a stronger player or a stronger person mentally, and for the good times, because there's not many good times in football. Yeah, it's class.
I've written down the goals you've scored for North End. This isn't too long.
It's not long. I could probably name a few.
One of them was against your former team, Bristol City.
Yes.
Did you celebrate that? What did you do?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
You never know when you score again. You have to celebrate every goal.
I left and I went to Preston, and it went the way it went, and it was the best move for me football wise. And obviously the manager in charge was the manager to let me go. And
who was that? Who was that? Sean O'Driscoll?
Steve Cottrell.
Steve Cottrell, okay.
Yeah, who I worked with at Forest. He brought me to Forest for my loan after the injury, and he was in charge when I left and stuff. But yeah,
ex-Burnley, it's fine.
Yeah, it's grand, it's grand. But look, emotion flies, and I think every time you play, you're always proving points, like whether it's against a former team or it's, proving to yourself again, where you've been out for a while and you start to question a few things.
So from that list, was there a good goal out of all the ones you've scored? Is the one that sticks out?
The way you asked that made it
well,
sound
I've got
like
1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 6. Am I right?
Blackburn, John.
Blackburn.
That was it. That was a nice one. Pity there wasn't a crowd there. It would have been quite cool.
COVID.
Yeah, it was COVID.
What was COVID like as a player?
It was mad because I like playing on the opposite side of the bench because you just get on with the game. So there's no one in your ear. You're not hearing a lot. Like you're just away and you can just kind of play the game. But in COVID, like, who do we play? We were at home to.
Was it like Resi games?
It was, because it was literally, you could hear a pin drop
echoing around the place.
And where usually a coach or a manager would say something, it wouldn't get anywhere near the pitch because of the noise. You hear everything. So you're getting hammered by the manager and he's over the other side of the pitch and you just hear everything. And it was quite weird because when you go out and the crowd's roaring and the adrenaline's going and you're pumped up for it, like you just go and you play and you're in it. But you have to manufacture that during COVID, like, and you have to try and get yourself up for what feels like a training ground game, but could have a lot on the line for it. And
how did you do that as a squad? Was it like different music in the dressing room or conversations before? I get you can't really replicate a crowd, but you must have.
No, you can't. But I suppose it's just within trying to make sure everyone's switched on in a way, like, because you don't have to say certain things when it's a full crowd out there or it's Derby Day or whatever.
The adrenaline, isn't it? The adrenaline, you just feed off that crowd.
Was there less pressure then during COVID because of
that? I didn't like it. But there probably was less pressure because, like, you shank a ball out of play, like no one's saying anything apart from the manager. But you still know fans aren't moaning or away fans aren't on your back. But
so were the players saying, "I hate this"?
Yeah, I did. Like it's soulless, like, there's nothing.
It's not
there.
Football, is it? You need the fans.
No, you need the fans, and like I love playing at home, and then sometimes I love playing away because when things are going well and the crowd's torn, then you're getting pelters for a throw, and it just adds to everything that you love about football.
Just a quick one on crowd. Is there any team that's giving supporters that are giving you a little bit of stick? You're thinking, why are you giving me so much stick?
Millwall away, obviously, the straightforward one. Like, you're getting called all sorts by 9-10-year-old kids that are getting a pat on the head from the father behind them and stuff, and you're thinking, hold on, you're looking for the ball and he just chucks it down the line and everyone's there just saying what they say. And that Millwall's probably the main one, but it's your stereotypical one, isn't it?
You mentioned living a dream. You picked up 4 Ireland caps. Was that a bit of a dream as well, to realise that and represent the national team?
Yeah, I look back over my career and stuff, and first and foremost, like, to play for your country at any level, but to obviously go up the ranks and play at senior level was, again, a dream come true. To have my first cap at 19 and only have 4, I look back and think, no, you should have a lot more than that. Why
do you feel like you didn't get more? Because Trapattoni was a manager at the time, gave you your introduction into the squad, gave you your caps.
Timing of injuries, maybe, out of favour, whatever reasons, I'm not sure. But I look back and think 4 is not enough when you have 1 at 19.
Who were the caps against? Any decent ones?
So the first one was Algeria at home.
We can cross that one off. We'll cross that one off as a
Argentina was the.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Okay.
Was
Messi
Norway
playing
at home and Poland at home, which is cool.
Was Messi
Messi playing against?
Yeah. He got taken off like a minute or two after I came on, so I still on the pitch with him. So I'll take that.
Well, I suppose
And
Messi.
Poland was good.
Lewandowski.
And it was good.
What was it like defending against him?
I was, believe it or not, well, I felt I was quite quick back in the day. Like I had a bit of pace, and at one stage the ball got played over the top, and I've gone to go back to it, and he's just absolutely burned me. And I thought, he is rapid. You mightn't think that now because the way I move, probably not as quick as I used to. But I was thinking, wow, this guy is a unit.
So you've not seen many players as quick as you were thinking, Cole?
Quick. And probably the one as well, which I didn't expect at the time, was Son at Spurs. He was rapid again. And I was thinking, where you don't really expect it. You know, like we played Wolves last year in the Cup, and Traore's running, and you think, yeah, he's going to be absolutely rapid. So, you know, you're not really looking at it. But there's a few players where you think, and then it's usually not the fast ones that give me the tough time. Snodgrass was probably the one. People always ask the question, like, who's your toughest opponent? And it was Snodgrass when he was at Leeds.
Why?
He was left-footed playing off the right, and that automatically causes a bit of a problem. And he just kept chopping the daylights out of me. Like he'd come back on his left and you think, right, he's going to cross it, and then I'd commit and he'd chop, and then I'd get up and then I go and I'd commit again, and I was thinking, and then got dragged after. I think it was like 55, 57.
Did you ever say anything to him?
No. I probably now I go up to him and say, like, you know, you've given me an absolute terror there. But I was 20, 21, so I was just like straight down the tunnel, head loss, all that kind of stuff that goes with it.
Neil Mellor scored. Preston take the lead, and that's exactly what it means to Neil Mellor to score in the West Lancashire derby.